I think I'm on day 4. I should probably be, yes, I'm counting them on my calendar. Day 4 of Whole30. And, oh, I want to show you how my sweet potato things turned out. I'm going to call them kind of like sweet potato bread pudding. Without none, there's no sweeteners in it. It's just the natural sweetness of the sweet potato pie and the raisins and such. So I think it turned out pretty good. I also grounded up some almonds, some roasted salted almonds, pistachios, and pecans. Some people say pecans, some people say pecans. You know what I'm saying. And I put on the bottom of these little metallic cupcake things. And so it kind of looks like a muffin, but it is a firm consistency because I did bake them like 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. And then I have like a little crust bottom that's obviously not very firm. Almost like when you do like a graham cracker crust. But instead of a graham cracker crust, I'm using only a nut crust. So I put those nuts in a coffee grinder, and so that I could have like a little paste to put underneath these. And it does taste good. You know, they're not pretty, you know. I'm not really a baker. I'm more of a cooker than a baker, but I can bake. It's just not my thing because I feel like baking is less forgiving than cooking. I can bake pies, and I have done cakes before, and I do cookies and blondies, but I'm a pie person. I like pie more than cake, and then I like cookies more than cake. So I have a tendency to make cookies from scratch and blondies, and I'll do brownies too from time to time. But yeah, so this turned out pretty good. So I made my egg white frittatas. They're not egg white frittatas, but they're like egg frittatas. And then, yeah, so these are gonna be like little mini, almost like a little breakfast, a sweet breakfast treat. In addition to the egg thing that I got going on. The other thing, so now I'm having my little evening sweet treat. I need a napkin. Hold on. I need a napkin. Because these things, it's not because they're sticky, but they do get on your fingers because it's not like a bread. And I guess I could get away with adding some tapioca flour or something to even firm it up more, but I feel like that's almost cheating, like making a sweet potato bread. And this is more of a pudding-like texture to it, almost like the same texture of a cheesecake. So, but I didn't use any breads or any flours or any sugars. I did make this with almond milk, coconut. I use a Nut Pods coconut almond creamer along with a Khalifa almond milk, one whole egg and a little extra egg whites, and 2 really ginormous baked potatoes. Well, 2.5, well, 1.5 baked potatoes, but the baked potatoes were like, bam! So it took a long time for them to bake, like 2 hours. Like, I baked it for an hour, then took it out, gave it a break. Next day, I continued, like one of them was like done, and the other one was like, nah, I ain't done yet. So I had to go and get it, put it in the fridge, because I had things to do, and then bring it back out, and then bake it some more. Because it was big. There's like big food pantry baked potato. made a mess. But anyway, so this experiment turned out good. First time I've ever made something like this. Usually when I'm trying to survive Whole30, I do this thing called, I think I call it my sweet potato mash, and I usually use the Asian sweet potatoes, the ones that are more purple on the outside and more yellow on the inside, more like the almost whitish, yellowish. I don't know if they're Japanese or the Korean, but I feel like those sweet potatoes are sweeter than these orange ones. And so I would usually do that, bake them, and then like chop up some apples and bake those and throw some raisins in, and then like it would be like a mash, like a mash with that, almost like a mashed potato, but sweet potato mash. This is a little more sophisticated because I also put a little bit of allspice, cinnamon, and nutmeg, just to give it some more, almost like what you would make in a carrot, how you would season a carrot cake, or a or like even a carrot muffin, or a bran muffin, or a raisin bran muffin, anything with like a cinnamon raisin flavor to it, or like a pie. Those traditional combinations. So the nuts on the bottom didn't really do much for it. I thought I was gonna give it like some extra bam. That's not really a word, but you know what I'm talking about. But it didn't really do much. Met my new therapist today. Really like her. She's pretty awesome. The thing I liked about her was she was expressive. Most therapists are very poker faced and like sterile. Like you can't tell if they have any feelings about what you're saying, which I feel like sometimes almost feels like, are you even listening to me? But she's totally opposite of that. Like she has facial expressions. I was like, you know what? I said, you're the first therapist to do that. And I said, I like that. She's like, actually, I'm trying to work on my poker face. That's not what you're supposed to do. But I like to show my clients that, that they're understood. And I said, I appreciate it. You keep doing that because that works for me. So I don't know what the protocol is, but if I say something fucking dramatic, I want to at least see someone feel me like, ooh, that's a lot. Like, ooh, I feel you. Ooh, that had to hurt. Like instead of like, oh, like I don't want that. So, good session with her. I'm glad that happened, and I start over with a new therapist, and going in a new direction. So. Yeah. So much going on. Just when you're explaining your life to a new therapist, it also gives you a chance to look back at everything that you've been through, everything that you're going through, and just like a reevaluation of some compassion for yourself. So that was my opportunity there. Yeah. In terms of food, I went into the office. I was able to find food that I could eat within the rules, which was good. And had some interesting. I had an interesting meeting at work, and they were breaking down politics, and after the meeting, after talking with them, that meeting was like an hour, I wanted a donut so bad. I wanted chocolate. I wanted something sweet so bad. I wanted potato chips. I wanted something to stuff my face because it just, and then I know I couldn't eat any of those things, and I was like, okay, how are you feeling? I'm feeling bewildered. It's a lot to have to navigate, a lot to have to deal with again. And since I didn't find any of those things that, I couldn't eat, they were there obviously in the kitchen pantry, but I couldn't eat any of those things. I got some seaweed, the dried seaweed, and just ate that as a snack. But yeah, I did take a banana, and I still had leftover coffee from the morning, banana and coffee, on my walk to the ferry to go back home. So, yeah, these processing emotions and dealing with emotions, that is not fun. Not fun at all. So, yeah. I don't really have much more to say today. I still need to cook. I have to at least, I need to make my salad and my salad dressings. And I think I have a meal plan dish outside of the soup to make. So I need to cook while I can, since I will be busy tomorrow. Cooking tonight and Friday probably makes the most sense. Yeah, it's just the meal prepping thing. That's the hardest thing for this, is so much meal prep. It's not in my lifestyle to do this level of meal prep and cooking. I usually don't cook. I can cook, but I usually don't cook because I've been so tired. Oh, that's another thing. Since I started taking the adaptogen mushroom powders and putting them in my coffee, I think it has been helping with my energy a little bit more. Last night, I had 3 things I needed to accomplish before I went to bed, after my class that was from 6 to 9. And usually I'm so exhausted I don't want to do anything. I usually sit in front of the couch, try to do one of the tasks, and then fall asleep on the couch, and then wake up around midnight and then drag myself to bed. But this time, I actually did all 3 things. It took me till midnight to finish everything, but I did it. And I was shocked. I was like, you actually did the 3 things you said you were going to do. Wow, who knew? So maybe that has something to do with my energy or getting the nutrition I need. Speaking of which, I did forget to get my vitamins in, and so I'm gonna take those tonight. But yeah, so that's day 4. See you tomorrow.